everyone, and welcome back to Prevent-A-Thon 4. We are here with day 4, our final day, and so far we have raised $2,180 for Little Warriors. Thank you all so much for your incredible generosity, but we still have a full day of runs ahead of us. We've got Mario Block, we've got Zelda Block. All of these runs are going to be so great. But speaking of Zelda Block, we have that bonus milestone run at the very end of the event. That's going to be a Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, all dungeons unrestricted run done by Ice Blue. And you know what? I think we should go to an interview with Ice, who will tell you more about both of their runs coming up later today. And with me, I have Ice Blue.
Hello.
Ice, who are you, for folks who maybe don't know?
So I'm Ice Blue. I'm a majority a Zelda speedrunner. I also speedrun a couple of RPGs like Super Mario RPG, Final Fantasy 1-2 Pixel Remaster, things like that. Mostly Zelda. That is like my biggest forte.
We're going to talk about Zelda in a minute, but first, I know you mentioned Super Mario RPG. Last event, you ran Super Mario RPG Remake for us, and now you are a member of staff. So I'm curious, what got you interested in being involved with Prevent-A-Thon and sort of wanting to stick around and get involved even further?
So I'm a father. I have a 9-year-old, so like things like that hit home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always super protective over my daughter. You know, always like looking over my shoulder, things like that. Just being able to like contribute more than just like a run and being able to like be more involved with an event like that, just it makes me feel greater than, you know, I just being able to help out more.
Oh, that makes sense. Now, of course, you do have a Zelda run in this event, and not just one Zelda game. Why don't you tell us about that run, Trilogy Percent?
So Trilogy was something that was like created like a few years back, 6 years ago. So there was always like a milestone set within each of the Zelda communities. So you had sub 30 minutes for Zelda 1. That was considered an elite time. And then you had sub 80 minutes for Zelda 2. That was the elite time. And then sub 90 minutes for Link to the Past, which is an elite time. So JSR was like, well, let's create like a spreadsheet and, start tracking people who have what we call the 30, 80, 90. So JSR was the first person to do it. Then you had, I don't remember the exact list. I was the 6th person to ever, complete the 30, 80, 90. And then, it started to get a little bit more popular. People started like wanting to run like a single segment run. So we created a leaderboard for it. We just called it the Classic Trilogy, which consisted of Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link to the Past, all the main categories. I have second place time. My PB is a 3 hour 20 minute, and it's fun to run because it puts less. It's less stressful because like you don't want to reset in a 2.5 hours in. You're just gonna keep going. So like I'm a big fan of like just completing a run and being able to do that and like being able to like just showcase like the amount of like skill it takes to like combat like the different RNG segments of 3 completely different games. And I think it's going to be super enjoyable. I just actually showcased it for another event last week for Speedrun Ragnarok, and it went really well. I got a 3:24. I was 3.5 minutes off my PB. So very excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. It's not often we get to see 3 games in one run, which is really cool. And I'm excited. Not Link to Past, the Zelda 1's the only Zelda game I have experience with. So I am excited to see it get beat way faster than I even got to the first dungeon in. So it's going to be great. I'm excited. But
you mean to tell me you're not excited for Zelda 2?
You know what? I'm excited to get to see more of all 3 of them because it's going to be great. It's going to be a fantastic start to, I guess technically not a start to Zelda Block because we've got RZ, but it's going to be a great intro to the Zelda series, especially for folks who maybe haven't gotten to see all three of the classic ones back to back.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But you also have another Zelda game in this event.
I do.
Oh, yes, indeed. That mystery bonus milestone game, which is going to be, why don't you tell folks about this game in this run?
So, I mean, kind of could probably guess it already. But I have been pretty hyper fixated on Echoes of Wisdom. I've pretty much like spearheaded the routing for glitchless. The any percent route was eh, it's definitely a run. It's entertaining and it's really cool. It's a run of all time though. Um, I spearheaded the routing for glitchless. I picked up, I picked up some strats from watching another runner, and then like I just kind of crafted like a full route on my own, and we just kind of like use that as the foundation to get things going. The category that I'm going to be running for this one does actually utilize uh, the menu storage glitch that was found for any percent that allowed people to wrong warp to the final dungeon of the game, which is kind of why any percent is a little stinky. So all dungeons does utilize the wrong warps, but as the category implies, you have to clear all the dungeons before you go into the final dungeon. So the way that we have to do the routing, we have to route specific echoes, we have to grab specific waypoints in order for us to menu storage wrong warp into each one of these specific dungeons, and we have full control over where the wrong warp takes us. So it's really cool, and it's really interesting to see like when you're given pretty much like minimalistic setup, to defeat all these dungeon bosses, as opposed to like in glitchless, we have level 3 sword very, with the last 3 dungeons available, whereas this one we don't even bother upgrading to level 3 sword. So it's a really cool category, and I'm pretty excited to potentially be able to showcase this.
And I am super excited. I really want folks to be able to see it. If you have not yet seen an Echoes of Wisdom speedrun, regardless of the category, you are in for a treat. They're just wild, regardless of what category I've seen. They're all super cool, very fun. This all dungeons category, I'm excited for it. It's very cool. It's also kind of a challenge, as Ice has noted, like things are not fully upgraded. So if you folks want to see that, we have to get that milestone met. We have until the end of the Twilight Princess randomizer coming up later today to get that met. I believe in you. I know we can get there. Because let's get more Zelda, and let's get one of the coolest games of this year shown. Because it's a great run. But with that being said, Ice, do you have any final words for folks?
No, other than we kind of have like a little special thing that we want to do for Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh, yes, yes.
And you could make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's a special costume that we can get Zelda in, and we can kind of scratch and meow our way to the end of the game.
Oh, nice little hint. Now, stay tuned, folks, for more info about that. That will be announced to you by hosts once Games Committee is ready for that to be out. But if you want to see that extra little secret for Echoes of Wisdom, you've got to get those donations in. And of course, all the donations go to Little Warriors. They're a fantastic charity. You've been hearing about them all week. We've got a charity interview coming up later today as well. But yeah, let's make this a fantastic final day. Let's enjoy some Mario and some Zelda. Yeah, thank you, Ice, for taking time to chat with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
A huge thank you to Ice for joining me once again for that interview. Very much looking forward to Zelda Block at the end of today. And of course, that Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom bonus game is going to be super cool. If you've not seen Echoes of Wisdom run yet, I promise you they are so cool. There's some really incredible glitches that have been found, and it's just a great time. But we aren't going to see that unless we reach $3,379 Canadian. Last time I checked, we're about $1,200 away, which might seem like a lot, but I know we can get there because all of that money is going to our fantastic charity, Little Warriors. And speaking of Little Warriors, we're going to go to a video now from them about their adult treatment center that they are working to develop called Our Lighthouse. Obviously, currently they serve children, but children turn into adults, and oftentimes disclosure of child sexual abuse doesn't occur until someone is over the age of 18. So they are working to build a program for adults who are survivors so that they can get the help they need as well. So join me watching this video, and then we will get started with our first run of the day.
I was 8 when he sexually abused me. He shattered my self-worth, my innocence, my joy. It left me with crushing anxiety. It ruined my life in many ways. I couldn't get away from him then. I tried. At 50, I still struggle, but I'm on the path to healing.
Be a beacon of hope. Help Little Warriors build Our Lighthouse, the world's first treatment center of its kind for adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse. Help adults heal. Donate today at littlewarriors.ca/ourlighthouse.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Prevent-A-Thon 4, Raising Money for Little Warriors. If you'd like to know more about Little Warriors, type !info in chat. Well, today is the final day of Prevent-A-Thon 4, but that doesn't mean the fun stops here, because we still have a full day chock-a-block with some very awesome, amazing games. Which also means we've got a full day chock-a-block of some incentives you can put those donations to Little Warriors towards. The first one I want to mention is the Watch the Cutscenes incentive for RZ, the Jewel of Faramore, run by 3Pup later today. If you're not familiar with RZ, it is very heavily inspired. It is a love letter to those Zelda CDI games, and I love watching the cutscenes. I absolutely adore it. So that'll actually add 15 minutes to the run. We need $250 Canadian to reach that incentive. We also have some Zelda file name incentives for Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and Zelda Link to the Past. And we all love naming the little guy, the little Link guy, right? So get your donations in for that. And we have some in right now for Zelda 1. Bingus, Baby Bingus is an option, and Grandma is also an option. And for Zelda 2, we have Hot Dog and Marin, or Marin, perhaps named after the county. But we still have plenty of time, but not a lot of time. So make sure you get those donations in for those file names. And you can type !donate in chat to get to the donation page, and make sure you scroll down to the bottom, click the little doodad that lets you add the incentives before you check out. Sal, I have never played a Zelda game, so, that's on me. But our first game today is Princess Peach Showtime, run by Menace Mans, and we are still in the process of setting that up. So while we're waiting, tell me your favorite Peach outfit from Showtime. Mine is the I like the pastry chef, but I also really like the ice skater. That one is really cool. So let me know, let us know. And then, we'll have fun today.